A spot of whaling, Watson? Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe.
원숭이?
Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
와, 안녕 토비.
Brave Toby. The best nose?
좋아, 작살 던지기 실험을 하러 갑시다. 존 넬리건 방금 신문했고요. 물고기 손질하는 일을 하고 있대요.
I need to take
아이고.
a harpoon with me.
저 찌르자고? 헐. 뭐 찌른 다음 먹으면 되니까.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to
알았어요.
perform the most reliable test.
아, 조준해서 던져야 돼?
Holmes, you should try to aim better.
헉, 실패. 실패.
The
꽂았다.
harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through.
아, 그래요? 자, 그럼 다시 한번. 아, 간다. 다시. 뚫었다. 이 정도면 맞은 거 아니야?
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
부자구나. 근데 좀 무섭다, 그치? 얼굴 자른 거 보니까. 갑시다. 서재를 확인하라 그랬거든? 말 타고 가는 거 같은데 막 돼지 소리가 나. 서재. 여깄다! 와, 여깄다!
어디서 봐야 할까? 도슨이 친구이자 동료에게. 헐, 설마 이거 하나씩 다 봐야 하는 건 아니겠죠?
That is not the
이거 뭔가 힌트가 있었을 텐데.
That is not
뭐라 그랬지, 저 사람이? 식물학.
That
담배?
That is
아닌데.
That is not the
와, 뭐지?
That is
경제학.
that
신문을 보자, 신문을. 이건 것 같아. 아니, 어쩐지 전혀 모르겠어.
빚이 많아서 파산했구나. 그래서 예전엔 좋은 옷을 입었어서 옷감은 좋은데 막 그 옷을 수선해서 입었구나.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story. but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the
그래서 여기
murder.
신문이 막
It is
있었어요.
time to ask him.
오, 그랬구나. 가서 얘기를 해보자. 네 말이 사실로 밝혀졌어.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
항해일지가 어딨지? 아, 이건가? 항해일지 조사하러 가자.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
오, 유니콘 목록인데 아빠 이름 뭐라 그랬죠?
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. This. Log notes for July. Log note.
Log notes for
Oh,
August. These pages
찢어졌어.
have been torn away. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
똑똑한 금수저지.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
일단 집으로 돌아가서 확인해보자. 바다 유니콘의 선원을 찾아라. 아, 이렇게 하는 거구나. 증거를 찾고 그 증거에 관한 정보를 찾고 도와달라고 하고 하면서 진행하는 거구나. 아, 그렇구나.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard,
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
and who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang.
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
이 게임 소설 기반으로 해갖고 그거 각색해서 만든 거래, 이거 사건들. 그래서 재밌다 하던데?
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. This is where...
잠깐 뭐 하려고 그랬지? 아, 용도 찾아보기. 오,
Watson, I need Wiggins. Is he anywhere nearby?
He's right across the street.
아, 그렇군요.
You can give him a sign from the window.
여기서 부른다고? 야,
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to
귀엽네.
track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
바다 유니콘 선원을 찾아라 완료했고 경찰국으로 가서 경감님 만날게요.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes, he refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
소지품을 또 검사해야 되나?
These are the suspect's belongings.
얼룩진 편지.
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals.
오, 편지를 챙겼고
Pen. Nothing unusual about it.
만년필.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size
발자국이
9
딱 맞을 것 같은데? 신문 먼저 할게요. 아니다. 신문 하기 전에 발자국 찍어보고 올게요. 근데 경감님 입술 색깔 너무 예뻐요. 좋아. 쿡! 오, 딱 맞아!
Footprints exactly.
이놈이 범인이구만. 호틀리가 범인이야. 신문해야 하고. 이거 용도는 뭐지? 어떻게 찾는 거지, 용도를? 얼룩진 편지. 이거는 우리 집 책상으로 가서
I need to prepare a chemical agent
헐.
that is capable of
어머,
removing
어떡해.
fresh
나
ink.
이런 거
For this
못하는데.
purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should
전부
be
다요?
used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
그렇구나. 그럼 뒤쪽부터 생각하면 되겠네. 청색을 넣은 다음에 노란색을 넣으라고 했으니까. 이거 아니야. 뒤쪽부터 생각하면 7번째 흰색이 들어간다면 6번이 노랑이고 물음표 청색일 수도 있겠네요. 3번이 청색일 수도 있겠네요. 근데 너무 복잡한데? 그런데 파란색 다음에 2개가 뭔가 들어가야 하는데 흰색도 안 되고 노란색도 안 돼요. 그럼 파란색 아니면 초록색을 넣어야 하는데 파란색을 2번 넣어보자. 이 첫 번째 것만 한번 어떻게 되는 건지. 아니야, 이거 아니야. 파란색을 2개 넣어봐. 노란색. 근데 이거 넣는 순간 실패할 것 같거든요? 그래도 넣어볼게요. 왜 멀쩡해?
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning
파랑,
again.
노랑, 하양, 노랑 이렇게인가 보다. 하노. 연기 안 나잖아, 그치? 너. 하하. 그 다음 노란색. 그치? 맞은 거 아니야, 지금 맨 첫 번째 거? 그 다음 하얀색이겠죠? 응원 감사합니다. 그 다음 녹색으로 막아버리고 그 다음 파란색 넣으면 실패인가?
No, something isn't right. I I need to
아니
stop.
그럼 잘못 넣었을 때부터 뭐 어쩌라고?
First condition. All 7 reagents should be used. Second, third
나 뭔가
condition.
맞췄다고
Colorless
생각했는데.
reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
주황색을 무조건. 그니까 이 물음표가 뭔지 모르겠어. 파랑을 2번 넣어볼게. 파, 노. 그 다음 노랑. 흰색은 무조건 노랑 다음에 들어가야 해서요. 틀렸다고 뜰려나? 좋아, 흰색 넣는다. 그 다음 또 노란색 넣는다.
No, something isn't right.
아, 왜?
I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
나 이해했어. 지금 왜 첫 번째 틀렸다고 하는지 알겠어. 왠지 알겠어. 나 진짜 알겠어. 왜냐면 여기에 파란색을 2번 연속 넣었잖아요. 그니까 봐봐. 노.
First condition. Second, third condition. First condition.
No,
All 7
ha.
reagents should be used.
No.
Second condition. Orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third.
뭐지 모르겠네. 그니까
First condition. All 7
no,
reagents should be used. Second condition.
No.
Orange reagent should be the
그니까
third one in the
1번이랑
sequence
4번에
after the blue reagent. Third
4번이랑
condition.
7번에
Colorless
무조건
reagent should be
아닌데?
added after the orange
알았다.
reagent.
3번에 파란색이 또 들어가야 돼. 그치? 이걸 넣고 여기다가 파란색을 넣어. 그 다음 노란색. 그럼 4번에 노란색이 들어가는 거죠? 아닌가? 그 다음 하얀색. 그 다음 또 노란색이 들어가는 거지. 아닌가? 왜냐면 3번에 파란색을 넣었기 때문에. 그 다음 하얀색. 왜냐면 노란색 다음 하얀색이니까.
Done. Now I can proceed further. Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery.
아니 이게 풀고 나면 굉장히 별것도 아니네. 우와. 우리끼리 맹세했잖아. 당신을 위해서라면 무슨 짓이든 할 수 있어. 이렇게 빌게. 누가 쓴 건데. 당신 말대로 잘 숨겨뒀어. 하지만 잘 다시 생각해줬으면 좋겠어.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
우와. 다음 신문 할 거고요. 이것도 신문 할 거고. 용도를 어떻게 찾을까? 이거 잠깐만. 이거부터 해보자. 헛돌리의 편지. 헛돌리의 발자국 아니고. 잠깐만. 침입자는 발자국. 아니라고? 이게 왜? 리암 헛돌리의 장화는 산지기의 별장에 남아있던 발자국과 일치하므로 그는 현장에 있었다. 헛돌리의 편지. 뭐지? 그거는 이렇게 안 해도 알 수 있다고요. 없어. 여기 아닌가? 깜짝이야.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
헛돌리.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
거짓말 하는데? 다르고 다른 것도 맞는데. 근데 같은 것도 맞아요?
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
숨겨둔
So
물건.
tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
편지 있다는 건 다 봤어요.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I
원이에요,
was
연구?
referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley.
고마워요. 자, 인상착의를 확인해보자. 일단 여기는 뭔가 없는 것 같고, 헉! 목에 상처가 있어요. 그리고 옷이 되게 깔끔하네. 정원사의 손? 정원사가 풀립 조각 정원사인가 본데? 뿔박새가 새겨진. 이
Now that
사람
your presence at Woodman's Lee has been
정원사인가
proven,
봐.
would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
정원사 아니에요?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
아니 근데 거기
That's
정원사가
all for
없다고
now.
그랬잖아.
Hurtley's stories are false leads. But now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
좋아, 가서 확인해보러 가자.
Locked.
저기요. 정원사 없다면서요.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
왜 거짓말하지?
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
연구화장 한 거라는. 리암 허틀리. 지난밤 산지기의 별장 주위를 어슬렁거리던 리암 허틀리는 수상쩍은 행동을 이유로 경찰에 체포되었다. 그는 파편으로 인한 목 부상으로 명예퇴직한 전직 군인이다. 현재는 정원사 일을 하며 살아가고 있다고 하네요. 열쇠를 줬어. 열쇠로 한번 찾아봅시다. 안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. 여기겠구만.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
시점이 뭔가 공포 게임처럼 뭔가 무서웠어 방금. 오두막 바닥. 나무 판자. 아기가 맞지 않아요. 조사해보죠. 작은 나무 상자. 이게 숨겨놓은 그거구나.
Let us see what is in this box.
이걸 뭐 움직여서? 뭐라고 설명이 떴었는데 못 봤어. 이걸 움직여서 저기에 선을 맞추면 되는 건가? 뭐야? 이해가 안 돼, 퍼즐이. 뭐요? 어떡하라고요? 아! 헐, 안에 있는 것도 돌아가! 헐! 대박스! 대박! 와, 이런 퍼즐! 그니까 손 맞추기를 이렇게.
근데 저런 건 진짜로 있을 것
Bundle of
같아.
letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is
왜 우린 안
interesting.
보여줘? 내 사랑 리암, 당신은 처음 만날 때부터 자상하기 그지 없었죠. 주체할 수 없는 행복을 느끼고 있지만 죄책감이 들어 견딜 수가 없네요. 앞으로가 걱정이에요. 하나님은 어떻게 마주할런지요. 당신은 사랑하지만 하나님 앞에서 맺어진 인연을 버릴 수는 없어요. 남편이랑 십자가를 짊어지는 것도 그분의 뜻이니까요. 남편이 준 상처도 언젠가 아물겠죠. 그러니 제 걱정은 마세요. 헉! 캐리랑 리암이랑 아줌마, 저 다 봤어요. 말하세요. 저 다 봤어요. 다 말하세요. 나 다 봤어. 관계 말하세요.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please.
리암 허틀리의 편지, 주디스 캐리의 고백. 볼까요? 악의 없는 외도. 리암 허틀리가 캐리 부인에게 수작을 걸었고 둘은 내연 관계가 되었다. 하지만 그 관계는 조용히 편지를 주고받는 수준에 그쳤을 뿐이다. 내연 관계 때문에 별장을 찾아갔고 별장에 정원사로 일했다. 그래서 정원사가 없다고 뻥쳤구나. 에? 치정살인이었을까요? 아니면 악의 없는 외도였을까요? 나는 치정살인이라고 생각해. 구독 감사합니다. 고마워요. 그니까 증거 없이 그냥 던져온 말인데. 나는 내연 관계 때문에 살해했다고 생각해. 왜냐면 그거 아니면 동기가 없잖아, 그치? 왜냐면 없다고 그랬으니까. 일단은 나가자. 일단은 우리 집에 가보자.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you
얘가
gave us.
찾았다.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
잘했어. 아까 이름이 뭐라 그랬지? 작살잡이. 일주일 전에 사망했대.
This is interesting. Let us review. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same
맞아.
initials
아까
that were
담배
found
주머니.
on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairn.
작살을 잘 던지는 담배주머니 주인.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a
바다
room,
마녀
but
술집.
he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
팔씨름 대결한대. 패트릭 헤언즈. 담배 주머니가 패트릭 헤언즈의 물건이라면 사건 현장에 있었다는 사실이 입증된다. 담배 주머니의 주인은 밝혀지지 않았다. 어서 오세요.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I
자,
had better dress as a
변장하러 가자. 강도, 농구, 실내. 여기다 선원복장. 그래, 이렇게. 너무 귀여운 거 아니야?
Now I can approach Cairns.
수염이 있어야 더 선원 같지?
Now I can approach Cairns.
좋아,
and see if he
케온즈를 만나러
recognizes the
가자.
pouch.
팔씨름 내기를 하고 있다고 그랬어. 어딨지? 덩치도 커! 뭔가 무섭게.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely
내가 질
sort,
것
and I'm up
같은데?
for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
간다. 진동의 중요성. 꿀팁 감사합니다. 표정 안 좋을 때 버티고. 뭐야, 완전 쉬워. 뭐가 이렇게 쉬워?
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
한 번 더 하자고요? 싫어요.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
Come back later when you can use your arms again.
2번이나 이겨야 된다고요? 대박. 맥주 먹고 싶다. 일단은 인상착의부터 확인해보죠. 귀걸이를 했고, 그 다음 수염이 많고, 그 다음 눈이 파란색이고, 고슴도치 같다. 그리고 따뜻해 보이는 옷을 입었고요. 타투가 있고요. 손톱이 누렇고요. 흡연자인가 본데? 손톱이 누런가 보니까? 그치? 팔에 털이 많아요. 좋아, 한 번 더
I'm ready
이겨주지.
to try again.
Fine.
덤벼.
If you want me to
나
take all your
장비를
money,
바꿨다고.
no problem with that.
덤벼, 아저씨. 좋아, 체력을 채웠다가 버티고 밀고 체력을 채웠다가 완전 쉬워. 방법을 아니까 진짜 쉽네요.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
귀걸이 팔면 되잖아.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about
그
that one.
죽은 사람 이름이
He was
블랙피터잖아.
the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too, swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me,
술 취하게
and let's
하자.
have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she had foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
양철통?
That's strange enough.
Aye, even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
근데 이 사람 말 들어보니까 아까 그 사람 치정살인 아닌 것 같아. 얘가 범인인 것 같아.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. And those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Ghazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
완전 취했네. 외투에다 담뱃주머니를 넣을게요.
Here it is.
좋아, 이렇게 넣어두고. 넣고 주인인지 확인하고. 화장실 안 갔다 와도 되나? 갔다 온 척. 담배 피자.
Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
연락처. 잠깐만.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
이 녀석이 잠깐만, 이거 치정살인 아니야, 그치? 악이 없는 외도야. 그리고 범행 동기는 결백해. 그런 거 같아. 그리고 담배주머니 이 사람 거야. 담배주머니로 범행이 입증되지 않을까요? 그리고 부츠 크기도 같잖아. 아, 근데 이 사람 거 아닌데. 알 수는 없어, 아직. 강한 완력도 있고 담배주머니도 이 사람 건데? 아니, 근데 용도를 못 찾겠네. 가난에 허덕이는 술령된 작살잡이다. 애연가다. 리암이 살인자일까? 패트릭이 살인자일까? 그러게. 찢어진 남은 부분을 찾아야 하는 것 같은데요? 그런 것 같은데요? 그리고 일단 옷을 갈아입자. 은행인가?
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
입증되지 않는다고 생각해요. 나 내연 때문인 것 같아. 왜냐면 부인이 숨겨줬잖아. 모른다고. 그러니까 부인이랑 짜기도 더 편하고, 얘가 완전 왜 자기 남편이 죽었는데 감싸주냐고, 왜 숨겨주냐고. 이 사람이 범인인지도 모르는 건데. 불장난인 것 같아. 왜냐면 편지로 끝냈다고 하니까요. 은행에는 어떻게 가는 거지? 그냥 들키기 싫어서 그런 건가? 옷을 그냥 다른 걸로 갈아입을게요. 갈색도 이쁘더라고. 이제 여기는 못 가. 경찰국에 가서 하긴 물어보지도 않았고 아무도 모르는데 누가 먼저 저 사실 남친 있어요 이렇게 말하겠냐고. 그치? 맞아 그 말 맞아. 그리고 이 수첩에 대해서도 연관이 있을 것 같아. 헉, 이거네. 잠깐만. 250 아닌데? 뭘 봐야 하는 거지? 8532.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
이렇게 이어져 있었구나. 사라진 채권과 양철통. 양철통에는 값비싼 채권들이 보관되어 있었다. 채권을 훔치려다가 피터 캐리에게 붙잡혔다. 피터 캐리를 살인한 것이다. 헐, 처음에 얘가 살인자였다고? 범행 동기가 확실해지긴 했는데 얘 아닐 것 같은데? 이렇게 조그만데?
Please escort this suspect
너 일로 와봐.
for
얘기 좀 하자.
interrogation.
신발 크기도 안 맞고. 침입.
Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
채권.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
그래요. 사라진 채권. 채권을 회수하러 왔죠? 맞아. 육체적인 게 안 맞는 게 가장 큰 거 같아. 왜냐면 작살 던지는 거 해봤잖아. 근데 강한 완력이 필요한데 얘가 어떡해. 헐, 이게 틀렸었구나. 둘 다 거짓말하는 중이니까 둘이 같이 취조해야 된다고? 두 사람이 공범이라고? 존 후플리 넬리건과 리암 허틀린을 피터 캐리의 살인을 공모했다. 아, 그럴 수도 있구나. 넬리건의 살해 동기는 캐리의 도둑질에 대한 복수이며 허틀리의 살해 동기는 질투심과 내연 관계였던 캐리 부인이었다. 아니, 둘이 근데 둘 다 동기가 확실해서 누가 주범이라고 하지 못하지 않을까? 이거 선택하는 거 자유 아니에요? 마지막에? 나는 모르겠네.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me,
허틀리 골랐어.
who killed Black Peter?
넬리건과 허틀리예요.
There are two culprits, Inspector, Nelligan and Hurtley.
What? Well, I would never have guessed, Mr. Holmes. They are a rotten pair, though.
It was a combination of two motives, culminating in one crime.
What were their motives?
The first was revenge. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
And the second?
The second was a crime of passion. Liam Hurtley was in love with Black Peter's wife, and this caused a conflict between him and Carrie.
Well. Makes sense, Mr. Holmes.
I suggest that you organize a small confrontation between the two, just to confirm my accusations.
That's a good idea, Mr. Holmes. I'll talk to these fellows. Join me in the interrogation room. Gentlemen, we know everything about your association to kill Black Peter. Admit that you planned it together.
Our association? I don't even know this man.
You needed to kill Peter Carey. There had to be two of you there.
Ridiculous. I'm innocent.
All that remains is to determine the level of guilt. Which one of you is the initiator in this case?
But I just told you I've never seen this man before.
It's him. He's the culprit.
배신한다.
He was forcing me. He threatened me. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Shut up. You're a lunatic.
Well, it all seems very clear, don't you think, Mr. Holmes?
Both are guilty, of course, but I believe that Hurtley was the initiator of the crime.
It's ridiculous. Why would I need the help of this weakling?
You wanted to be rid of the man who was terrorizing his wife, and who prevented the two of you from being together. Young Nelligan was just following his lead.
틀린 것 같은데.
You are wrong. I have nothing whatsoever to do with this.
You'll explain that to the judge.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
그러니까.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
나 틀렸나봐. 넬리건 왠지 진실을 확인해볼까요? 님들 진실 한번 확인해볼게요. 이거 틀리던 말던 고르는 거 자유라니까. 내가 하고 싶은 말은 그거야. 자유라고 고르는 거. 자유라고. 그리고 고르고 나면 당신은 뭐 이런 타입입니다 이러면서 뭐 그런 게 나와요. 그래서 뭐 고르는 거 상관없어. 틀려도 본다? 진실 확인한다? 틀렸네? 그냥 제시할래요? 다른 것도 맞죠? 님들이 이거 게임 하면서 해봐요. 이거 아직 할인 남았을 거야. 지금 80% 할인 중이거든요? 전 틀렸어요. 다른 사람들은 어떻게 골랐는지. 다른 사람들은 도덕적 선택을 제시했대요. 저는 그냥 둘이 공범이라고 했어요. 5%. 맞아. 1% 아니고 5%나 있어. 그래도.